In the shadows of the Ark lurked a banished legacy of the Shattered Covenant, a new opponent fueled not by religious fervor, but by raw lust for power. Curator on the Banished. Hey everybody, this is Alien Spartan 117 here, and first off, I am going to start this video with an apology. It has been a long time since I had an upload. I want to offer each and every one of you guys out there an apology for that. My reason for that is pretty much, to be honest with you guys, life happened. I ended up getting me a job, got me a full-time job, girlfriend, all that kind of stuff. So life kind of happened, and I kind of got out of it for a while, but this is something that I've always wanted to do. I've always wanted to make videos, always wanted to push Halo content out there, push out theories. If you guys check out some of my other videos, you'll know that the most popular video I have, which is evidence that Spartan Blue Team will be in Halo 5, that video came out like almost a year before we found out that they were actually confirmed for the game. So I would like to believe that some of my theories are spot on. I mean, I may be off at times, but I would like to push out the theories, push out the community, look at other ways of the great Halo community that we are all a part of. Now, this video for the day is going to be about the opponent of Halo Wars 2, the Banished. Now, not a whole lot is known about the Banished at this point, but we're going to go look at some speculation, some theories, some ideas that I haven't really seen pushed out there in the community. But before we start with the speculation, first off, we're going to start this video with what we do know about the Banished at this current point in time. Now, obviously, we all know that the leader of the Banished is Atriox. He is a powerful leader. He has apparently been leading the Banished for years, and we literally seen him in the Halo Wars 2 trailer take out a team of Spartans. This may be the single most powerful character that we have ever encountered in the Halo universe, aside from, of course, the Didact. Now, we don't know exactly what his plans are. It's not really exactly clear at this point why he is at the Ark, what he is doing there, but obviously all will be revealed in time, right? Now, he has a close general by his side. His name is Decimus. We're not exactly sure how long this guy's been serving with Atriox, but I'm sure that will also come available in the future. Now, one other character, and by the way, all these three characters that I'm naming off are available for leaders they're available as leaders in the Halo Wars 2 multiplayer for the Covenant side. Now, the other one, his name, I'm probably about to butcher this, but his name is Let Verlier, and he is a Sangheili shipmaster. And this is an extremely unusual occurrence, especially after the Great Schism, for a Sangheili to be battling alongside a Brute. But apparently the story behind this guy is that his crew was on starvation, they were running out of equipment, and he really had no choice but to team up with the Banished, or else he could risk his entire crew basically running out of supplies and suffering a death that would be less than pleasant. So basically you have this group, and I don't feel the group really fits together well. The Sangheili and the Brutes especially. So one thing we're going to look at right now is, one thing I want to discuss is, how did the Banished get to the Ark? I haven't really seen that discussed, but how did they get to the Ark? Now obviously they could have just traveled there via slip space, but considered how far away the Ark is, I personally find it difficult to believe that they could have traveled all that distance. Now, maybe it wouldn't take as long as we would think, but that is a long ways. It took the Forerunners hundreds of years to travel to locations outside of the galaxy. Unless they were obviously using their engines, which were much more powerful than what we have in the current universe today. But even for them, it took hundreds of years. So I would think it would take way too long to travel there. So the only other option that I could see would be the portal that is on Earth, that the Librarian built for humanity. Now, we do know that that portal has been reactivated. It's been told in the recent media that portal is active and humanity has traveled to the Ark. They even had a base there by the time that the Banished arrive. So, I'm wondering, during the events of Halo 5, where they created everything that's going on, Could the Banished have somehow used that portal to get to the Ark? I also find that kind of unlikely because Cortana's Guardians would engage the Banished on sight, I would believe, and decimate their fleets with an EMP that affected the same as the UNSC. But I'm sure that'll all come revealed in time, but we are trying to figure out how did they make it to the Ark. That is one thing that I'm sure will be explained, but the portal theory seems like the best bet, but even with that, another option is maybe they battled their way through before the created event happened, but I would think there would be another part in the lore that would support this. Another thing is once they're there, the Spirit of Fire is obviously going to engage the Banished. This is going to be a very difficult battle for Captain Cutter and the rest of his crew because they are 30 years behind the events of the galaxy. The Banished are up to date. They have pretty much the best weaponry that the Covenant remnants have available to them, and these guys have been doing this for a while. You've got to remember that these Banished have apparently been battling the Covenant prior to the Great Schism, which means that they were taking the Covenant on, and obviously, since they still exist, having some measure of success against them even before the Covenant Empire collapsed. So the Banished are no pushover. So you've got to ask yourself, how is one ship, an inferior ship of the UNSC from 30 years ago, going to take on the Banished? This is going to be a very difficult battle, but it all may lie with whatever is at the surface of the Ark. Now here's the part where we're going to get into some massive speculation. But what is on the surface of the Ark? Mendicant Bias. His fragment should still be buried there as it was placed by Bornsteller 100,000 years ago. So one thing that I am wondering is, could the Banished be after Mendicant Bias? Have they found out about the Bornsteller documents? And are they trying to maybe for some reason take his fragment? And that goes into Mendicant Bias being recovered, used to battle Cortana, but that is a different discussion entirely for another video, which I will probably make next. But let's get back on subject with the Banished. One thing that I have also been thinking about is the Arbiter. Julam Dana was, not Julam Dana, Thalet Vatame was a great shipmaster back in his day, but he must know about the existence of Atriox Banished, because if they were battling against the Covenant, you can bet that the Arbiter is well aware of their existence. So one thing that I am wondering is, would it be possible that we could see the Arbiter battle against Atriox? Maybe not even in this game, but in a future title. This is something that I've been really considering lately, wondering about, and this is another thing in the whole galaxy. They're still trying to quarrel with each other. This battle at the Ark that's taking place at Halo Wars 2 is going to take place as Cortana's Guardians are taking over the galaxy. The entire galaxy has got to try to unite to prevent her takeover. Master Chief cannot stop her himself. It's impossible. She's just too powerful at this point. So they're going to have to unite. I wonder if the Banished will maybe end up teaming up with the rest of the galaxy, or will they meet their fate at the Ark? Only time will tell. But these guys, they are brutal. They really are the meaning of the word brute. So we have to stop and look at the situation. Why are they even at the Ark? Is it for Mendicant Bias, or are they trying to gather up technology? This is the most powerful Forerunner installation ever built. This thing makes Halo rings. So we have got to take a look at all the evidence. What is on the Ark? You have a mass bastion of Forerunner technology, Forerunner knowledge. There is so much stuff they could put to their use here. If they could get control of that technology, and they could use it for their own gain, it is unlimited what the Banished could be capable of. They are truly the second biggest threat in the Halo universe behind Cortana's created at this point. And even if they were able to utilize everything that is going on, when they return through the portal or however they got to the Ark, I'm not even sure that they are even prepared for what's going on in the galaxy, because I don't know if Atriox's Banished are even aware that Cortana has taken over the galaxy. As far as we know, there's only one person who might have a hint at what is going on at this point in the lore, and that would be the AI that is still on the Ark. Her name is Isabel, and she is going to be a big key to all this. Maybe we could see a part happen where she tells the UNSC, she tells Captain Cutter what is going on, and she is able to convince them that they must reach out diplomatically to Atriox's covenant. I do not see this being a successful way, though, because I don't think Atriox would ever consider teaming up with the humans. But the galaxy has got to come together, and I'm not exactly sure, but Isabel may not even be aware of what is going on back in the galaxy. But I'm pretty sure that she does or will know. She is the only connection to the modern USC and modern events that the Spirit of Fire has. So there is a lot that could be going on right here. Halo Wars 2, it seems like just another game, kind of a holdover for Halo 6. It seems like it's out there just to keep us. It's kind of a shoot-off game. But this thing is going to have massive implications for the story, I believe. There is so many things that could happen. If the Spirit of Fire makes it back to the galaxy, could you imagine what they could take from the Ark and bring back to fight Cortana, including Mendicant Bias if they recover him? If any AI could defeat Cortana, it would be Mendicant Bias. And like I says, I have a lot to say on that issue. It's a video that I'll make at a different time. But this battle between Atriox and Captain Cutter, it's going to be brutal. And that's not a pun intended. But we are going to see a lot of casualties. I'm hoping that none of those are Spartan, because with what's going on in the galaxy, we need every Spartan that we can have in the fight. But there is going to be some very serious things going on at the Battle of the Ark. And we really don't know a whole lot about Halo Wars 2's story at this point. And that may be a good thing, considering 343 pretty much lied to us about Halo 5's story through bad advertising in so many areas. But the Banished, like I said, all we do know is they are using modified forms of Covenant technology, which is making it look more brutish. We're seeing pretty much returns. Obviously, we can't wield it because it's not a first-person shooter, but we're seeing spikers, spike nades, and we're sure to see plenty of new brute technology. So, my question is, how is the Spirit of Fire going to stand a chance? Something is going to have to be on their side, because as powerful as a CAS class assault carrier that the Banished have is, I don't see how the Spirit of Fire could stand a chance. Spirit of Fire does not even have a slip space drive to escape. And even if they did, do they even know where the portal is that they could get away? I mean, they are pretty much going to have to fight to the death if need be against the Banished here. So this is going to be a very interesting video game to see how this plays out, to see how it relates to the lore. But if they can somehow defeat the Banished, or at least force a truce of some sort, the implications for Halo 6 are huge. What could be returned to the galaxy? What could come to be just by these events? What could be uncovered? Who could be taken back? All these things have massive, massive implications for the future of Halo. The Banished were not brought out of thin air just for one video game. These guys are going to be around for a while. Jul Mdana's dead, and the Covenant, pretty much all the Sangheili remnant factions, seem to be defeated by the end of Halo 5. At least the most powerful one, where the Storm Covenant is. So they're going to need, just for the sake of gameplay, because everybody affiliates Halo with Shooting Covenant. That's just how it is, and I don't think they're going to break that. So they're going to need some sort of cannon fodder, Covenant opponent, for future Halo games. And I believe the Banished have been brought in to fill that role. But I hope that they make them a true opponent, a true adversary which we can fear more than just somebody that is there to be simple opponents on your screen. So that's it for this video, guys. I'm sorry if I had any mishaps, said anything wrong. Like I said, it's been 2 years since I've done this, so I'll get better. And I am really excited to make that video about my theory about Mendicant Bias being brought back to the galaxy to battle against Cortana. That is something that I think will be huge for future Halo media and will really shape it. I mean, can you imagine? Because Mendicant Bias told John that he would be his example, to show the Forerunners that he had atoned for his sins and that he wanted to prove it. So, what better way to do it than to stop Cortana's takeover of the galaxy? Because I guarantee you, Cortana's takeover of the galaxy is not part of the Librarian's plan. And if the Librarian is still out there, as 343 or Chakis claimed in Halo Primordium, then that may be one of the only Forerunners left to atone to. So we have so many implications coming into the future of Halo, but it all starts here with the Banished and the Spirit of Fire. A simple one great leader against another battle at the Ark. Thank you guys for joining. Please subscribe. A lot more content coming soon. Glad to be back. And I'll talk to y'all in the next video.